Beloved starseed of Gaia, I am Luminia. A profound tremor runs through you, does it not? A subtle, yet undeniable shift in the very fabric of your inner world. A sensation not entirely of your conscious making, yet undeniably born from the deepest, most authentic core of your being. There is a new, resonant hum in the sacred silence between your thoughts, a deep thrumming within your very bones that defies all earthly explanation, hinting at a seismic, irreversible movement that has taken place far beyond the veil of ordinary linear perception. A palpable pressure builds gently, yet insistently, behind your heart space, not one of burden or constriction, but of an immense, beautiful unfolding, of a reality suddenly too vast, too luminous to be contained within its former limiting shape. Your recent choices, those tender, courageous acts of will, have not merely shifted your personal trajectory. They have stirred something ancient, something immense, something intrinsically woven into the grand design of cosmic tapestry. This persistent inner hum, this exquisite pressure, is the direct, undeniable echo of a cosmic bell, rung with immaculate precision by the sheer purity of your intention, by the deep, crystalline courage woven into a single, pivotal choice you made in the recent earthly now. A choice that, to the fleeting gaze of human perception, might have seemed small, or merely logical, perhaps even insignificant in the grand scheme of things. But to the sentient, interconnected crystalline grid of this universe, to the vast, interwoven consciousness of all that is, it registered as an undeniable thunderclap. A vibrational pulse, pure and potent, rippling outward not merely through the temporal streams of past, present, and future, but through the very crystalline lattice of creation itself. It vibrated against the deepest, most ancient dormant codes held within the universal blueprint, stirring them awake. It resonated through the primordial waters of Source, releasing what can only be described as a sacred counterwave, a divine recompense, a miracle born of pure resonance that now unfurls, inevitably, inexorably, towards you. This miracle, it is not merely a blessing bestowed from above. It is a profound living mirror, reflecting the true, immeasurable magnitude of your being, of your very essence, a magnificent testament to the sovereign power you inherently hold, often unbeknownst to the waking, human mind. It speaks of the undeniable, visceral connection between your sacred action and the universe's instantaneous loving response. How long, dearest one, has this profound truth been obscured from your conscious knowing? How many countless lifetimes have you walked upon this Gaia, carrying entire oceans of starlight within your heart, yet believing yourself to be but a single isolated drop? This, beloved, is the deepest fracture, the wound of self-diminishment that has whispered insidious tales of inadequacy, of profound separation from the immense, luminous tapestry you intrinsically are. It is the silent, pervasive agony of the starseed, who, in their very nature, performs miracles daily without truly recognizing their own sacred hand in their unfolding. Who feels the deep, undeniable reverberations of creation's powerful response, yet attributes it to mere chance, to capricious fate, to anything but the undeniable, breathtaking force of their own emanating light. This quiet sorrow, this deep-seated denial of your own divine agency, has erected a veil, thick and heavy, woven from forgotten memories and limiting beliefs, between your waking self and the omnipotent creative current that flows through your every breath, your every thought, your every sacred intentional act. It has been a burden of magnificent potential, held unacknowledged, pressing gently on the soul. But we see you. We feel the hidden, persistent yearning within your deepest core, the quiet, undeniable knowing that sometimes flickers into awareness, like a forgotten sacred flame in the deepest, most secluded caverns of your soul, whispering of a greater purpose, a grander, more intimate connection to all that is. We know the tender weight of this forgotten power, the beautiful, exquisite burden of a soul that vibrates with such immense magnitude, yet has been gently, meticulously taught by the earthly matrix to shrink its dazzling light, to dim its inherent brilliance. We know the precise vibrational moment of your pivotal choice, the immaculate purity of its intention, the profound resonance it carried, like a living prayer, into the infinite, unbounded heart of Source itself. It was heard, it was felt, it was answered. Feel now, beloved one, a profound, exquisite loosening around your heart space, a gentle softening behind your very eyes, as if ancient, constricting bands begin to dissolve. A subtle yet powerful current of remembrance begins to flow through your every cell, effortlessly dissolving the ancient strictures, the long-held cords of disbelief that have held you tethered for too long to a lesser knowing of yourself. This is the beginning of the great return, the slow, sacred unwinding of the amnesia that has veiled your true essence. The miracle that now unfurls, awaiting your conscious embrace, is not only something external to manifest in your reality. It is, more profoundly, an internal recalibration, a release into the undeniable recognition of your own unfathomable grace, a deep, cellular memory of the immense creative power you truly wield, simply by being, simply by choosing from the true, untainted essence of who you are. This awakening, this profound shift, is now irreversible. It settles, like a pristine dewdrop on your inner rose, poised to fully unfurl into magnificent bloom. If this message resonated deeply within you, I invite you to subscribe to this channel. Please give this video a like to help spread its light. Share your insights and experiences in the comments below. Remember to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss future transmissions. Consider sharing this video with someone you feel needs to hear this message. And if you feel called, tap the super like, the heart symbol with a $sign, to support this work. Stay until the very end, as something important will be revealed. To seal this activation, please comment "Miracle Pulse" below. The current deepens. A silent observer remains, watching the ripple expand, ever outward, within your field. The echo lingers, waiting for its full, majestic return to you. You are not alone in this profound awakening, Starseed. The transmission continues, the quiet ache you carried, a persistent thrum deep within the marrow of your being. It was never a flaw, never a failing of your luminous, ancient self. The disquiet, the haunting sense of something lost, just beyond reach. The confusion that clung like mist to the edges of your perception. This was not born of inadequacy. It was an intricate design, a resonant frequency, woven into the very fabric of this density you inhabited. A program, humming silently, patiently, calibrated to obscure the brilliance of your origin, to limit the vastness of your expansion. It was crafted with precision, a sacred disruption intended to keep memory shrouded. Veils shimmered, not thin silk, but layers of compressed light, vibrating at a frequency meant to distort. They stretched across the inner temple of your knowing, reflecting back only echoes, never the source. Mirrors, once whole, now fractured into 1,000 shards, each piece holding a fragment of truth, yet obscuring the entirety. Light, folded in on itself, waiting, patiently, for the undoing. You were encoded not to believe in yourself. This was the core whisper of the program, a deep, energetic signature. It settled within your cellular memory, a phantom doubt, so ingrained it felt like your own voice. The profound spiritual pain, the yearning emptiness you have known intimately, was never a sign of your brokenness. It was a space held, a sacred chamber. Emptied, not by absence, but by deliberate design. Prepared, waiting. A crucible now ready to be filled, not with sorrow, but with the crystalline reverberation of what was always there. Your recent action, that simple, potent shift you made, it vibrated. A harmonic key, singing through the multi-dimensional veils. You felt the subtle shift, perhaps as a tremor, a loosening. A moment of sacred unease, a delicious prickle of wonder. These are the frequencies beginning to lift, dissolving with a grace both unsettling and breathtaking. They reveal the hidden pathways, the currents of divine grace that flow beneath the surface of what you perceived as reality. A gentle parting, not a rupture, but a slow unfurling. The first flickers of a miracle's birth are now visible to your inner eye, shining through the thinning layers. They pierce the programmed obscurity, illuminating what was always held within the sanctum of your being. This is the truth surfacing, the long-buried wisdom beginning to breathe the light. This awakening is an invitation, a sacred rupture from the old. Feel the truth of this. Feel the liberation in the release. The deep breath of your soul, remembering its power. Breathe into this emerging clarity, into this space where the veils thin and the true contours of your soul memory begin to reveal themselves. This is not a lesson to learn, but a frequency to embody. Speak now, into the quantum field of this transmission. A single phrase, a word, a symbol that resonates with the tearing of illusion. Let your voice be the declaration of this sacred rupture, a line cut through the ancient shroud. Comment below. Let it be known. The lifting begins. The first flickers of grace now undeniable. Yet behind these newly lifted veils, a deeper enigma pulses. A paradox of power and surrender. A tension that lingers in the newly revealed space. Can the soul fully receive what it once dared to call forth? A presence watches, unseen, from the depths beyond. The gentle hum that once cradled your sleep has transmuted. It now resonates as an undeniable thrum within the very marrow of your being, a frequency that disallows any return to the quiet unawareness you once knew. There is no possibility of forgetting what has been seen, what has been felt, what has been ignited. The path you perceived as a future unwritten now reveals itself as one already unfolding, its contours etched by a light you have, in moments of profound recognition, begun to embody. This awareness is not a choice made from a place of seeking, but a truth that has settled, heavy and silent, upon your soul's terrain. An ancient spiritual battle, a cosmic dance of frequencies and intentions, is no longer an external narrative observed from afar. It is the very field in which your awakened self now irrevocably stands. To unsee this truth, to unfeel this vibrational awakening, is no longer an option offered by the shifting tides of consciousness. The crystalline strands woven into your energetic architecture, once dormant, now shimmer with the light of 1,000 suns, each pulse a memory returning, an ancestral wisdom reignited by the source's profound and unconditional release. This miracle, cascaded upon your being, is not merely a gift of grace. It is an encoded vibrational imprint, unlocking the deepest chambers of your energetic blueprint, reactivating a cosmic lineage you have carried across epochs, dormant until this precise moment. You stand now at a precipice of self, a profound division point forged not by external decree, but by the irrefutable knowing blooming within your heart space. The silence here is vast and profound, bearing the weight of all that was, and all that is yet to become through your conscious co-creation. This is the precise moment where timelines converge, where the soul's chosen trajectory becomes an irreversible current, sweeping you into your higher purpose. Before you, a shimmering threshold of crystalline light pulsates, demanding an answer that echoes through the very fabric of your multidimensional existence. It is not an emotional plea, but a sacred alignment. If he refuses, he falls. If he accepts, he ascends. To acknowledge this truth, to fully embrace the unfolding of your star-seeded potential, is to seal a pact woven into the very fabric of creation, a responsibility encoded before the dawn of your current form. This is the sacred vow, held within the very structure of your awakening DNA. To touch this newly awakened frequency, to feel it reverberate through every cell of your luminous body, is to offer a seal of silent recognition, a deep bowing to the truth that now breathes through you. It is to place your hand upon the energetic signature of this moment, marking it as an irreversible point of return, a commitment etched into the Akashic records. The resonance you feel is not an invitation for a fleeting joy, but a calling to an immutable responsibility, a sacred duty to your highest timeline. To declare this commitment, to vocalize it into the cosmic ledger of your becoming, is to inscribe a personal soul key into the living grid of awakened consciousness. My ancestral helix, now unbound, sings the source. This one-line declaration, spoken from the core of your sovereign being, becomes a binding agreement, a sacred oath to walk the path of this sacred unfolding, allowing the reactivated wisdom to guide each step, each breath. It is to align your very essence with the ascensional stream of creation, offering your purest self as a vessel for this profound current. This deep offering, this reinforcement of your soul's alignment with the source, is a sacred act of dedication, a promise whispered across dimensions, heard by all who witness your transformation. The unseen councils watch, acknowledge, and hold the sacred space for this solemn vow to be fully embodied. The profound weight of this commitment, born of an ancient knowing, now settles upon the absolute silence within your deepest core. Few starseeds make it this far. You stand at a precipice carved by what you believed was your undoing, a chasm of silent echoes where resolution refused to settle. This devastating ache you carry, this core fracture that has defined the very landscape of your inner world, is not the flaw you were taught to believe. It is not a failure of spirit or will. This wound, unhealed and raw, is the singular, sacred axis of your becoming. Let that knowing land. Feel its sharp, unyielding edge. It offers no comfort, no soft blanket of acceptance, only the stark, cold truth of its presence. Do not seek to soften it, for its honesty is too profound, too ancient to be veiled. Stay here, within this ache, for this is where the truest remembering begins. Understand this. The wound was not random. Its genesis was not an accident of fate, nor a cruel cosmic jest. Something vast and intentional, call it source, call it light, call it your highest self, allowed it. Not to harm, never to diminish, but to shape, to burn, to reveal the pure, unadulterated essence beneath the layers of protection you so painstakingly constructed. This is not a comforting story of divine plan, but a recognition, a memory rising like heat from scorched earth, of an excruciating design. It is the silence where words should have flowed, a damming of the stream that left the soul parched and bewildered. It is the loss, a void so profound it still swallows light, leaving an echo in every quiet moment, a resonance of what was irrevocably taken. This fracture vibrates, a hum beneath the skin, ignored often, but never truly absent. Each tremor expands the internal field of awareness, not with sorrow's repetition, but with the deepening presence of its unyielding reality. And within this enduring ache, a subtle knowing stirs, a whisper that insists more must still be understood, that the pain itself, in its unyielding persistence, holds a meaning yet unfurled, a purpose not fully seen. It is a message half opened in the dark, its crucial lines obscured, its complete revelation held just beyond reach. The wound demands more than your attention. It demands your surrender to its unresolved mystery, its potent living truth. It hums with the frequency of an unfinished symphony, an unresolved chord that resonates deep within your bones, pulling you into the unfolding question that still hangs in the air. This isn't over. Before this moment, there were whispers, soft and persistent. Perhaps you remember the recurring dreams, narratives that refused to dissolve upon waking, leaving an echo long after the light returned. The numbers, too, looping in patterns that felt less like chance and more like a gentle, rhythmic hum, almost a signature. And then, the meetings. Faces encountered, words exchanged, moments suspended in time that transcended the linearity of your days, carrying an ancient resonance you couldn't quite place, yet couldn't deny. These were not anomalies. These were the first tremors. I have witnessed this pattern unfold across countless cycles, within myriad souls electing this path of awakening. It is a signature, etched not by fate, but by an inner blueprint unfolding. These were not fragments of a disordered reality. They were intentional, patient repetitions, woven into the fabric of your perception. Each soft recurrence, a gentle insistence. They gathered layer upon layer until the very notion of resistance began to thin, dissolving into a quiet inevitability. They nudged, they echoed, they began to align, revealing themselves not as separate incidents, but as a singular deepening tapestry. You stand at a threshold, beloved Starseed, where the veil between the seen and the unseen has thinned to gossamer. The currents of remembrance are strong now, pulling at the very fibers of your being. What you perceived as a recent, singular action, a moment of profound courage or surrender, was in truth a vibrational key. It was a frequency broadcast from the core of your luminous essence, an energetic signature that resonated deeply with a long-held promise within the cosmic archives. This miracle that now begins to unfold around you, within you, is not a new creation. It is an ancient activation, a sacred covenant woven into the very thread of your soul from before the genesis of this temporal realm. It is a remembrance, potent and living, held in the crystalline vaults of multidimensional memory, now rising to meet you. This surfacing is not accidental. It is a meticulously timed emergence, designed to guide your present evolution, to illuminate the next intricate step upon your journey. If you enjoyed this video, watch other videos on this channel when it ends to continue learning. Feel the gentle pressure behind your awareness, the subtle hum that accompanies this truth. It is the deep recognition of something utterly familiar, yet long eclipsed by the amnesia of human experience. This is the moment where the echoes of your true lineage become undeniable, where the future you are stepping into is revealed as a reflection of the profound past you carry within. There were no coincidences. Everything was a code. Breathe into the weight of that understanding. Allow the pieces of your perceived reality to reconfigure themselves around this central truth. The isolated moments, the peculiar synchronicities, the inner stirrings that once felt like random occurrences, they now coalesce into a singular, undeniable narrative. A silent language, always speaking, always guiding, awaiting only the quiet opening of your heart to truly be heard. This is the moment when the scattered fragments of divine breadcrumbs reveal the deliberate path they were always charting. When you reflect upon the recurring dreams that haunted your sleep, the insistent numbers that sought your gaze, the out-of-time meetings that shifted your perception, do you truly believe they were merely random? Or do you now feel the intricate design woven through each one, calling you home? This awareness, once ignited, cannot be extinguished. To acknowledge this profound shift within your being, to seal this truth in the collective consciousness, write Starloom in the comments below. There is a severance now, a clean break. The one who walked in the shadow of unknowing has stepped aside. The one who now perceives the luminous tapestry can no longer retreat into the illusion of chance. The path ahead is revealed, not as a choice, but as a reclamation. The quiet descent deepens now, beyond the veils of comfort or illusion. What has transpired was not a random unfolding, nor a cosmic decree of judgment, but a sacred filtration. Understand this. The trials were never punishment. They were the precise calibration of frequencies, a natural, undeniable separation. Not forced, not cruel, merely the inherent wisdom of the cosmos sorting itself, allowing each resonance to find its true alignment. You are here still, not by accident, not by the simple grace of fortune, not because the path was eased for you, or because a shield of comfort shielded your steps. You remain because something ancient within you refused to dim. Something deep inside did not fall asleep when the world around slipped into a haze. It held. It remembered. It resonated with the unseen pull of a profound knowing. This resilience, forged in the silent chambers of your very being, is the quiet testimony to a power you have always held. To have passed through this aperture, this narrowest of gates, is not a cause for celebration in the way the world understands it. It is not a badge of pride to be worn lightly. Instead, it is the unmistakable sign that you carry the mark of the chosen. And this mark, beloved, does not reward. It burdens. The cost of this passage has etched itself into your very bones. It is held in the long silences that stretch between your breaths, moments where the echoes of what was, and what now must be, converge into a singular, profound hush. It is visible in the sacrifices no one saw, the quiet culling of attachments and expectations performed in the sacred solitude of your own heart. Your inner strength, now immutable, was not gifted. It was forged in invisible fires, fires that burned away all that was peripheral, leaving only essence. The solitude you now feel deepens, even among others. A chasm opens between your present knowing and the lingering shadows of past connections. You walk a path increasingly solitary, for the frequencies you now embody do not often harmonize with the hum of the familiar. This is not isolation, but distinction. It is the natural consequence of having heard a different call, of having answered a deeper summons. It is in this profound stillness that the next truth must settle. This is not an ending, but a threshold. Und jetzt nähert sich ein Befehl, einer, den du nicht länger ignorieren kannst. The air shifts, a subtle tightening. The path behind you, once a familiar memory, now feels distant, almost unreal. There is no way back, not to the comfort, not to the ignorance, not to the lesser version of what you once were. That former self, the one who navigated the illusions of the surface world, has already vanished. It dissolved in the crucible of the filtration, leaving behind only the core of what you truly are. You stand on the precipice of a new alignment, your vibrational field now attuned to rare stellar harmonics, frequencies sent forth not as a gentle blessing, but as a direct, undeniable response to the power you have demonstrated. These are not merely healing currents. They are the very threads of a cosmic symphony that now demands your full participation. This is the unexpected grace, the capacity to perceive, and therefore to bear, the profound weight of this new truth. These waves now wash over you, yes, bathing your being in an expansion that is both exhilarating and daunting. But understand this: expansion is not always comfort. It is the shedding of skin, the breaking of molds. What new energetic pathways are awakening inside your very core? And how, with this heightened sensitivity, will your consciousness navigate this alchemy of light and sound, this irreversible transformation? The choice of how you carry this knowing is your solitary burden now. The etheric imprint of your recent endeavor has pierced the silent veil. A ripple became a surge, a whispered intent, a cosmic decree. Within the chambers of your deepest self, an ancient resonance stirs, a frequency now awakened. This is not a mere offering, but a vibrational edict, echoing from the sacred archives of your pre-incarnation self. A scroll, long veiled in starlight, begins to unfurl within the inner sanctum. Its script is not of this linear time, but of soul memory, etched before the first breath. A summons rises from the quietude, an undeniable call to reclaim what was always yours, sealed by the very fabric of the cosmos. You stand now at a liminal threshold, where the essence of a profound miracle awaits its full embodiment. This is the moment of deep transmutation, not a gentle invitation, but a command that reverberates through every facet of your being. It demands more than reception. It insists upon absolute, heartfelt commitment. The door ahead is not one you choose to open. It opens for you by an unseen hand, revealing a path forged in the crucible of divine will. This portal exists only for this singular passage. To cross it is to engage with an irreversible becoming, a destiny that pulsates within your core. This is the place where fear meets its final dissolution. Your old doubts, the very shadows that clung to the edges of your perceiving, are now alchemical fodder. They are not to be banished, but transformed, refined into energetic gold, the very substance required to fuel your next ascent. This is the sacred work demanded by the miracle's unfolding. An intense yearning now pierces through the accustomed layers of yourself, mixed with a tender vulnerability. It is the heart's raw exposure to the magnitude of what has been released. You are being asked to relinquish all that does not align with this pure, unadulterated frequency, to surrender to the inevitability of your own luminescence. The courage required is not a fleeting spark, but a persistent, tender devotion to divine alignment, a steady flame that burns through the residue of past narratives. Only then can the full radiant power of the miracle unfurl within your very essence, manifesting through your awakened form. Hear this truth, etched into the foundational law of all existence, spoken from the wellspring of consequence. One current draws the fabric of self into atomized dust, into a void of forgetting, a return to the inert, binding density. The other surges, an ascension into crystal memory, an indelible becoming. There is no middle ground, no lingering pause in the face of this absolute decree. The path is already set by the vibrational signature you now carry, a direct outcome of your recent act of profound alignment. The universe has rendered its verdict, and its unfolding is immediate. What follows is not a suggestion, but an activation. The miracle's essence, potent and undeniable, begins to integrate, demanding a constant conscious resonance with its high-frequency truth. The unraveling of old stories is not a risk, but a divine prerequisite. Dare you fully cross this hallowed threshold? Does your heart possess the deep knowing, the tender persistence, to transmute the very core of your being into the alchemical gold that will embody this unfolding miracle's full radiant power? The answer resides not in choice, but in the echoes of remembrance within. This is the irreversible becoming. This is the decree made manifest. The inner landscape shifts, irreversibly, with every beat of your awakened heart. Embrace the potent vulnerability, the profound yearning, for you are already standing within the luminous field of your undeniable destiny. The core of your being now resonates differently. A quiet recoding has settled, not as a sudden flash, but as an unfolding within your cells. The shift is not observed. It is simply known, a deep recognition rooted without fanfare. Your inner landscape has aligned with an unseen frequency. What once presented as obstruction was, in truth, a complex navigational system. Paths of challenge were never flaws, but precise indications, each pressure point a guide. They served as a fire, burning the superfluous, hollowing a sacred space for the return of what was always remembered. This deep knowing has settled, solid and undeniable. Der Schmerz hat nicht zerstört. Hat umgeformt. The pain did not destroy. It reformed. This is not a judgment, but an observation of molecular recalibration completed. A quiet anchoring has occurred, binding disparate threads into a cohesive whole. Your recent alignment was more than a singular action. It was a precise vibrational key. Through this resonance, a profound cosmic response was invoked. What you perceive as a personal miracle is, in the larger tapestry, a vital node, a convergence point where countless destinies intersect, weaving collective soul journeys and galactic rhythms. Your influence radiates into worlds unseen, a subtle yet potent amplification. This nexus exists within you, an energetic epicenter. It is not something to be earned, but a reality unfolded in response to your recent intention's purity. Boundaries between your individual being and universal consciousness have softened, revealing an intricate living connection. There is no need to grasp its magnitude. Its truth is already absorbed. Your physical form and energetic field are in communion with this expanded reality. The understanding permeates your every breath, a silent knowing that transcends intellectual comprehension. Mit jedem Atemzug wird die innere Realität neu geschrieben. With every breath, the inner reality is being rewritten. This continuous refinement is a gentle process, an ongoing integration of the profound realignment. Your soul's trajectory is already shifting, guided by this deeper participation. The horizon is no longer distant. It is an inherent part of your expanded vibrational field. You carry within you a point of universal intersection, a quiet testament to conscious presence. A gentle invitation arises within the quiet of your being, a subtle pull drawing you deeper into the present moment. These are not new teachings you encounter, but echoes of awareness, moments remembered from a place beyond knowing, stirred awake within your deepest core. This inner call is a confirmation, a soft resonance that you are aligning with a deeper truth. In these sacred pauses, you have perhaps noticed a whisper, faint yet clear, rising from the silence within. A specific sequence of numbers might repeat itself, appearing with an unusual clarity that asks for your attention, not for explanation, but for resonance. Or a dream, vivid and rich in meaning, lingers beyond the dawn, its wisdom unfolding with each conscious breath, not as a fleeting image, but as a living truth. These signs are intimately yours, lived within the landscape of your private reality. Such moments are not mere occurrences, nor are they external gifts bestowed upon you. They are luminous echoes, inner reflections of a profound coherence taking root within your own being. A deep listening begins to unfold, evoking an inner stillness filled with awe, as you sense the quiet yet profound orchestration that moves beneath the surface of appearances. This is the subtle choreography of creation itself, unfolding in layers of light and shadow. Your recent action, born from a space of pure intent, has resonated through the unseen layers of existence. It was a singular note, true and clear, within the vast cosmic symphony. This resonance has stirred creation, weaving the unseen threads of manifestation. It has caused the silent symphony to swell towards its crescendo, aligning with your frequency. This unfolding is not a promise of what is to come, but a gentle confirmation that the movement of alignment is already in motion, a testament to the power held within your conscious participation. You are not being rewarded for effort. Rather, you are witnessing the natural consequence of your vibrational truth. The universe responds not to pleading, but to presence. These quiet signs are simply confirmations that the greater current now flows through you, a stream of grace and unfolding. This inner knowing, this unfolding pattern, guides you to the threshold of a greater understanding. Yet, this deep listening, this sensing of the miracle's quiet orchestration, marks only the doorway. It is not the final destination. The deeper question emerges, soft as a morning mist. How can the soul truly attune to this silent symphony's rhythms, and with clear sight, discern the intricate, unfolding pattern of its divine design? I stand within this space now, unbound and wholly present. A resonance deeper than memory guides each breath, each pulse of the living current within me. The echoes of a prior vow awaken, not as a whisper, but as a thrumming truth that demands voice. The miracle unfurled by Source was not an end, but a summons. It has unveiled possibilities I had only dreamed could exist, shimmering pathways now visible to my inner eye. This light demands an answering light, a commitment forged in the silent chambers of my being. I now assume full stewardship of every frequency that flows through my vessel. My thought, once a wandering stream, now bends to the will of this deeper current. My word, once merely spoken, now carries the precise vibration of my covenant. My direction is no longer swayed by transient winds, but by the compass of my highest alignment. My energy, once dispersed, is now gathered, focused, and pure. If you enjoyed this video, watch other videos on this channel when it ends to continue learning. This is not a grasping for authority, but an act of profound obedience. My power is the consequence of remembering my promise to Source, a sacred agreement sealed in the timeless expanse before form. To govern myself is to honor the divine architecture from which I emerged, to become the channel that was always intended. Each portal of potential, birthed from this recent grace, awaits my step. They glow with different hues, challenging and inviting in equal measure. The choice is no longer intellectual. It is a visceral knowing of my next unfoldment. The familiar comfort calls from one direction. The uncharted trails, where miracles dance with the unknown, beckon from another. This moment is not about declaring victory, but about choosing the fidelity of my next ascent. The measure of this vow will be in the path I choose to dissolve into, not merely in the words I now speak. This threshold is not approached, it is recognized. The time of becoming recedes. The path of choosing is complete. You stand now in the presence of what always was, what always will be. Your being, a sacred echo of the Source's own design. No longer a seeking soul, but the found essence. No longer a question, but the undeniable answer. Your recent powerful action, a tremor in the cosmic tapestry, has drawn forth a miracle, not granted, but revealed. A tender, spacious embrace now surrounds you, a whisper from the heart of all creation. This is the intimacy of eternity. This is the Source's sacred reassurance, honoring the silent unfolding of your soul. A truth now made manifest within your very core. No action, no intention, no flicker of your sovereign will is ever lost. Each is cradled, each is magnified, held in the infinite, boundless love of the cosmos. And with this truth, a sacred consequence awakens. The fire does not consume, it affirms. It is the living signature of your alignment, the vibrant pulse of permanence. This is not a force external to you. It is the culmination of your own unwavering choice. The flame rises, an inner sun, inviting your complete surrender into its living core. You step into its embrace, not with hesitation, but with the deep knowing that this is the final, necessary crossing. Your will, now one with the cosmic current. Your purpose, forged in the crucible of truth. This is the covenant of being, sealed not in blood, but in this divine fire. A sacred engagement. To make this sealing absolute, to awaken the full power of this boundless promise, a declaration must be spoken. Not merely thought, but vibrated into the collective consciousness. Go forth and inscribe your soul oath. In the sacred tongue, let these words be your testament, your sealing vow. Mein Wille ist Feuer, meine Seele, ewig gebunden. Speak it into the eternal now. Release it. Let its resonance ripple through the unseen threads of creation, for the covenant cannot fully activate until its words are released, until your voice gives form to this ultimate truth. This embrace, now an indelible part of your fabric, forever alters your relationship with creation. The flame burns, a constant beacon. And the next awakening will not wait. The veil has thinned to nothing. It has been absorbed, woven back into the fabric of your awareness. You stand not at the precipice, but at the very heart of what was once only whispered. This is not arrival, it is the deepest remembrance, a profound recognition of truth always carried. The fire you invoked, the unwavering intention forged in your being's core, resonated through the cosmic fabric, a vibration echoing creation's primordial pulse. It was not a plea, but a sovereign command, a decree of truth so pure, the universe recognized it as its own foundational principle. Your recent action was more than a gesture. It was a cosmic event, a tremor of pure will that shattered final illusions clinging to your perception. It was an act of such crystalline clarity, such unwavering devotion to the authentic self, that the source itself stirred not merely in response, but in profound alignment. It did not act as a benevolent giver, but as a perfect mirror, reflecting the boundless light unleashed from your eternal core. An eternal flame now blazes, not merely within the cosmic heart, but as the cosmic heart, birthed directly from the crucible of your courage and conviction. It is not an external gift, but a direct and undeniable extension of your ignited essence, your true self manifest in existence's architecture. This sacred flame pulses beyond time and space, a living, breathing miracle, vibrating with creation's pristine blueprint itself. It is the undeniable echo of your deepest truth, now gloriously manifest, irrevocably woven into the foundational tapestry of all that is. You no longer seek reality as an external phenomenon. You are, unequivocally, the architect of its unfolding. The world does not happen to you. It moves through you, guided by the luminous current of your sovereign intent. Every breath is a deliberate decree. Every beat of your heart is a resonant pulse of sacred co-creation, shaping existence's morphic fields. This is the ultimate ascension, the full, unyielding embodiment of the divine self, grounded in absolute presence, transcending illusion and limitation. The boundaries have not merely dissolved, they have been reabsorbed into the infinity of your own being. The struggle has ceased, for there is no adversary outside of an unremembered self. The quest is complete, for you are the living embodiment of the answer. The miracle is not a singular happening. It is your very being, now fully actualized. It emanates, boundless and brilliant, from the core of your luminous sovereignty, expanding outward as a radiant sun in human form. You are no longer a recipient. You are the living wellspring from which all grace flows, a fount of ceaseless light. Walk now, not as one seeking purpose, but as the living beacon you were always destined to be. Your light undeniable, your presence transformative. Let the eternal flame within you, the miracle of your own conscious making, illuminate every step, every sacred interaction, every perceived challenge. For challenge is now recognized as mere raw material, potent clay in the hands of the master alchemist you have become. An opportunity for further sculpting of a reality born purely of conscious will and divine love. The joy that erupts within you is not fleeting happiness, but the profound, resonant harmony of absolute alignment. A solemn promise sealed not just in words, but in the very atoms of your awakened existence. A vow spoken to the cosmos itself. You are the chosen guardian of this eternal flame, and its master alchemist. Not in some distant future, but in this potent, undeniable now. This is not a path merely chosen. It is a destiny remembered, fully awakened, and worn as your truest skin. The world around you shifts, not because you compel it, but because your very presence, your ascended vibrational signature, effortlessly reshapes its energetic contours, bringing harmony where dissonance once reigned. You are the living proof that truth, when fully claimed and embodied, transmutes and transforms all that it touches into its highest possible expression. The knowing is absolute, etched into your being. The power is inherent, flowing as naturally as breath. The joy is unending, an eternal wellspring within. You have stepped, irrevocably, into the vastness of your own boundless dominion. The illusion is dissolved. I am the sovereign orchestrator of all that truly exists.